WrestleMania is just a couple days away, and of course, WWE continues with the nonstop announcements. We're going to talk about that. It's a good one. Also, we got to talk about it. An AEW star who's no longer with the company is speaking out about a huge issue with the company. And this is one that seems to be very common. Very, very common. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Triple H was on Andrew Schultz. Let's talk a little bit about that. PLE coming to Mexico. Triple H firing back at the internet wrestling community. There's so much to dissect, and it's all coming up right here on TAS. Okay, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Triple H. He did, in fact, confirm that WWE will be coming to Mexico. He was talking about this on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz, and essentially he was talking a little bit about WWE going through Australia. Again, they're obviously clash in Paris. The events in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. And now he did confirm that they are going to Mexico as well. He says that it is something that is upcoming and it is something that WWE is doing. Now, he didn't elaborate on what kind of event this would be. He didn't say what PLE would be. He didn't say any of that. But of course, I think it's fair to say it probably isn't happening in 2025. Based on all the information that's currently out there, it kind of sounds like this is something that we'll have to wait for until 2026. But since there's been so much internet chatter about Mexico and the WWE and Dave Meltzer, basically confirming that it was happening for Backlash this year, even though that wasn't a thing. Yeah, it is happening at some point. We'll see what event it is. But of course, WWE is planning to go to Mexico. Now, also on the Andrew Schultz podcast, Triple H did talk about the IWC and basically just laughs it off. This guy does not take the internet wrestling community serious at all, which is so funny. Basically, WWE doesn't care about social media is what he's saying. He pointed out an example with Cody Rhodes and a lot of people on the internet saying that Cody Rhodes' babyface run is dead. And when I was listening to the podcast, the thing that intrigued me the most was the fact that Triple H has completely downplayed social media, which is ironic considering the We Want Cody movement was because of social media, also as well as the paying audience. But I do think Triple H does make a couple good points, though, about paying attention to the crowd and paying attention to the merch movers and things like that, because people who spend their money are the people that are, your actual customers. I think the social media is a very loud minority. Very, very loud minority. But just because you make the biggest noise doesn't mean you make the biggest impact. And that's something I've always said before with social media and the IWC. Overall, Triple H's interview with Andrew Schultz was actually really good. Talks about a lot of stuff historically with WCW and Vince McMahon and DX and everything like that. I thought it was a really cool listen. And that brings us to Layla Hirsch. Ladies and gentlemen, Layla Hirsch is no longer with AEW. We have covered this, but now speaking on the Soul Sessions, she talked about how she felt before leaving AEW. And she said she actually had a lot of mixed feelings because there was a lot of frustration with the company and with the way they were going. What was crazy is that her contract actually ended on the same day as her wedding. So as you can imagine, you're planning a wedding, you're getting ready for your wedding, and you're already overwhelmed. And by the way, the contract to your job is now ended. But she actually revealed that about 6 weeks before her contract ended with AEW, she actually tried to reach out to Tony Khan. She tried to talk to him, and she wasn't trying to talk to him about the contract. She wasn't trying to talk to him about money. Basically, she wanted to know if there would be a plan for her if she stayed within the company. And, really it stemmed from the fact that Layla Hirsch says that she basically did everything that was asked. She did everything that she was supposed to do. And then the company... strangely enough, Tony Khan did not even respond. She wasn't able to talk to anybody other than like one employee. But she did not have the ability to talk to Tony Khan. And this is a thing that like throughout the years, you hear a lot of stories of Tony Khan being inaccessible. Which I get it. He's a billionaire and he's got tons of businesses, and him and his father are very, very busy guys. But it is kind of frustrating to hear that this is a constant thing. You're a talent trying to speak to your boss, and for 6 weeks you can't get a hold of him. And you guys know damn well that Tony Khan responds to other talent. You know that. Like I'm sure if Will Ospreay tried to talk to Tony would probably respond in a timely manner. I get it. Will Ospreay is a bigger deal to AEW than Layla Hirsch, but I just don't think that sets the right precedence like for your entire company. You know what I mean? Layla Hirsch was somebody who actually was utilized initially when she came into AEW, and then throughout time, that didn't necessarily happen. And then you would see her here and there. She had her injury, but a lot of people liked Layla Hirsch, and she was really good on AEW programming when she was utilized. So what's the issue here? And I just think that's such a weird situation for AEW to just straight up go ghost for 6 weeks. She's no longer with the company. We don't know if WWE will pick her up. We don't know if she'll go to TNA. We don't really know what the next step is, but having that experience of working for AEW and being able to see that and now speaking up about it, I think it's a good thing, for Layla Hirsch, because now she has a real taste of what the wrestling industry is. So yeah, it's kind of strange, but it is what it is. And yeah.
Now would be the best time to remind you that we have a major goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. Over 40% of the viewers who watch this channel are not subscribed. Please click subscribe if you enjoy staying educated on everything with wrestling news.
And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. WWE has a new announcement, and this is a big one for a variety of reasons. Mattel is seriously like the biggest deal to WWE, as you can imagine. Mattel is a global leader in everything that you see with these action figures and toys and everything that WWE does. WWE has now extended this partnership. It's a long-term partnership. And what's even crazier is that this deal is expected to be a very, very big deal as far as WWE goes and their merchandise. The deal has been revealed today. Mattel is obviously known for their quality action figures. Mattel is known for so much. And the thing for WWE is they are so big on this intellectual property, right? So we are seeing WWE, they're going to have new lines of toys, but now they have these new legacy contracts with a lot of talent who will then be able to get part of this. It's a massive ordeal for WWE, especially as we go into WWE weekend with WWE World, and basically this whole week is dedicated to WWE. So that's huge, and really for WWE, when it comes to doing the toys, a lot of people may not think it's actually a big deal, but this is a global licensing partnership that takes us to a whole global scale. And with this multi-year extension, Mattel's going to continue to do the action figures and the accessories and the sets and the role play items and everything you can imagine. But this is something that they've been doing since 2010. This is sold over 50 different markets internationally. So as you can imagine, the WWE action figure set is actually the longest continuous action figure assortment in history. And now this continues at a time where WWE just continues to be more popular. That's huge. That is really, really huge. And for WWE, it's all about the money. So now they're chasing the money. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.